yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain.
Already mic testing. Okay, perfect, let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with aggregation and let's say polars, or it's GroupBy and aggregations and polars. The last stream I did work with expressions. The stream before that I did work with the basic polar concept, which I kind of forgot the name of the concepts. That said, let me go ahead and move on to my gameplay screen. There we go. And yeah, this is a brand new chat because I usually like to go with new chats so I don't reach my chat limit. And also, I will be using Claude at max efficiency without the thinking, because the thinking just wastes so much time for like no reason. And yeah, I will be touch typing as well. Let me say something like, let's say, live exclamation. There we go, let's go with something like, there we go, live exclamation. Okay, perfect. Now let's see. Okay, good, that's the right way to open it. Straight into it. And yeah, we got two more polars this concept before I really move on to working with databases, where I will be working with, let's say, SQL and then PostgreSQL and all that stuff as well, until I don't fully move on to my phase 2 after building the project 1, which is a web scraper. That said, phase 2 will be some math and machine learning. That said, good, that's the right way to open straight into it. Now, answer the actual question I asked before we go anywhere. Have you ever used the word GroupBy in any context before? I have not. Pandas, SQL, Excel pivots, tables, anything at all, even just watching someone else do it counts. I have not. Let's go with something like I have not. Yeah, cause it's much better to say you have not, even though I have like literally not, so Claude does explain it from, let's say, the ground up. That's a good honest answer, all that yada yada stuff. Here's the concept, one piece at a time, nothing else yet. Right now, when you have a data frame, every row just sits there, and I forgot to do one thing. I realized that majority of you guys don't fully know that I have a horizontal stream. Let me say something like, join the, or let's say, move. Oh god, guys, there we go. Move on to the what up, guys? I hate this caps lock. Whenever you click caps lock, like the whole thing pops up. Move on to the horizontal stream to be able to. There we go. Okay. Move on to the horizontal stream to be able to view my entire window in the landscape mode. Yeah, because many of you guys don't really, know that I do have a horizontal out here. Let me just try to go ahead and pin that. Let's refresh it. Alright, perfect. I think that's pinned, right? Nope, it is not. Hold up, give me a quick little sec. There we go. Okay, finally. Now, moving on. Right now, when you have a data frame, every row just sits there as its own thing. Okay, say you've got an employee's CSV file. When you have a data frame, every row sits there as its own thing. It sort of does in the CSV file. I have a question. I'm on 1 year of Masters of Computer Application and I don't know anything about coding. So what should I want to do? Give me suggestions to get a job in game development. Actually, I'd say like when actually going or like trying to get jobs, they look for more experience as opposed to really having degrees and all that stuff. So first things first, I would, let's say, recommend you to start building projects or making projects. But if you don't fully know how to program and you do want to start working with game development, I would say it really depends on your own preference as well as to what games do you want to make or what engines you like. I would recommend, or like the thing that I used was C++ and Unreal Engine. They're not as, let's say, hard to learn, and Unreal Engine is the industry level game engine that almost every game developer really does use. Okay, not almost every, fact check me on that part, but majority people do use Unreal Engine because it is like an industry level game engine. That said, if you do want a basic, let's say C++ roadmap, you can join my Discord server and either go to the coding helps chat, the Python chat, or the general chat. Mention my name there at WebUniverse, asking me for the basic C++ roadmap. I will be DMing it to you after like the stream is over, but that was the roadmap that I did use for my, let's say, game development journey as well slash my programming for 250 days, where my goal by the end of that series was to make a game in general that consisted of AI logic in it. So I'd say that roadmap was pretty detailed and all that stuff. I did not really create an Unreal Engine roadmap, but for Unreal Engine you could like watch some tutorials, read the docs, or I would recommend using AIs to learn it because they teach it really well. That said, okay, right now when you have a data frame, every row just sits there as its own thing. Say you've got an employee.csv file with a department column and a salary column. If I asked you what's the average salary in engineering versus sales, you'd have no clean way to answer that with what you know right now. You'd have to filter for engineering, calculate the average by hand, filter for sales, calculate again, manual, repetitive. Okay, that does make sense. I did work with expressions last stream where we do gotta manually do this stuff. And doesn't scale if there are 10 departments instead of 2. .group_by with the column name is the tool that solved this. Okay, I'm positive that I worked a little bit with group_by and pandas, but not really polars. Thanks, buddy, I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. It takes your data frame and splits it into separate buckets, one bucket per unique value in that column. So, .group_by with department would create one bucket for every row where department is engineering, another bucket for every row where it's sales, another for marketing, and so on. Every row gets sorted into exactly one bucket based on what's in that column. But here's the critical part. .group_by by itself doesn't calculate anything. It does the sorting into buckets part. It's not printing you an answer yet. It's not producing a data frame. You can look at it yet. On its own, it produces something called a GroupBy object. Okay, which is really just the buckets have been made. Now, what do you want to do with them? Oh, I see. So exactly like a data frame object or like a lazy frame object, we have a GroupBy object, which does its same data manipulation inside of it. Okay, that's it. That's the only new concept for this message. Nothing about calculations yet, nothing about .aggregation yet. Okay. Before I go any further, in your own words, what do you think .group_by does? Let me say something like, I feel like I did not really understand the explanation as much. Let's go with something like much. Therefore, there we go. Can you give me an example, question mark? Like a real world reference. Okay, because last stream I did not really understand the topic about lazy frames, but then Claude gave me a recipes real world reference where what the lazy frame really does is that we make a recipe. So before we really display anything in the console, until we don't really call our collect method to display something on the console, our lazy frame is just going to be making a to-do list slash thinking what is going to be the most effective way for me to really display all this data here. For example, if I gotta execute, let's say 17 different steps, and the first step and the third step are not really compulsory to get the exact same output, it's gonna kind of skip those steps. So it's a smarter way to do this stuff. Okay, this is exactly the same as well. Okay, well, this is not the topic, but I'm saying the, hypothetically, the explanation part. It feels so much easier to understand if you get like an IRL reference. Fair enough, asking for that instead of faking is exactly the right move, yada yada, let's ground it in. Picture a deck of playing cards all shuffled together, spread out on a table. Right now, that shuffled pile is your data frame. Every card is a row. Nothing's organized. Now imagine I ask you to sort that pile by suit. Every heart goes in one stack, every spade goes in another stack, every club in another, every diamond in another. You end up with 4 separate little piles sitting on the table. That's sorting action, physically moving cards into piles by suit. That's what .group_by suit does. It takes your one big data frame and splits it into separate buckets, 1 bucket per unique value in whatever column you picked. In your employees.csv file, the column is department instead of suits. So instead of 4 piles of cards, you'd get one pile for every row where department is engineering, another pile for sales, another for marketing. However many unique departments exists in your data. Here's the part that trips people up, so pay attention. After you sort the cards into 4 suit piles, you haven't actually done anything with them yet. You haven't counted how many hearts are there, you haven't found the highest cards in the spade pile. You've just organized the pile. You've just organized them. The piles exist sitting there waiting for you to ask a question about them. That's exactly the state .group by department leaves you in. It makes the piles. It does not automatically tell you engineers average salary is. It just says, okay, I've sorted everyone in to their department bucket. Now what do you want me to calculate? All right, so when they are, let's say, sorted in their department, is there a should I say, is there a unique is there like a unique algorithm as to how they are being sorted? Like, what did you mean when you told me that we sort the department? Whoops. When we sort the department, question mark. Like, are the are all the department values the only ones that I will be able to access, and the rest are shuffled, still arbitrary? There we go. And maybe I want to get my mic a bit more in front. Okay, yo, Hiding Pixel, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, I had one more question. I'm kind of bored when I'm studying about coding, feels like sleepy. Can you give me a suggestion to get focused while studying? Okay, this is a tricky one actually. If you're actually working with stuff but you, let's say, feel a bit sleepy or that you don't really like to program, I would recommend firstly getting a lot of coffee and trying to push yourself for the first 21 days to really focus, because it takes 21 days to get into a habit. That's just when you feel lazy or when you're bored while studying and all that stuff. It's your anterior mid-cingulate cortex, which is a part of your brain that is in charge of your willpower. It actually expands when you do stuff that you don't like, and that is a good thing, and it kind of contracts when you do stuff that is in your comfort zone. So for example, if you, let's say, work on doing something that's really boring and you do it for 21 days, your mind gets used to it and it gets easier. The task doesn't get easier. You just get, let's say, your willpower just get better at doing that stuff or like handling that stuff. So I would just recommend keep on doing this stuff even though it feels boring. Eventually you're going to get used to it, and that is going to become like, should I say muscle memory or a second nature to you? Okay, I love your stream. You appreciate your pixels. That actually means the world to me. Okay, that's it. Now, good question. I can tell exactly where the confusion is coming from. So let's untangle it piece by piece. First, no, there's no special sorting algorithm you need to think about. Sorted was maybe the wrong word for me to lean on because it makes you think of alphabetical order or some ranking. That's not what's happening. It's not sorting the A before B sense. It's grouping by sameness. By sameness. That's actually a new word. I know what it means, but like I've never seen someone use it like sameness. Every row that shares the same values in that column you picked gets put in the same bucket together. That's the whole operation. Rows with department equals to engineering go in the engineering bucket. Rows equals to go into the engineering bucket. Rows with department equals to sales goes in the sales bucket. There's no ranking, no order, no algorithm to worry about. Just do these match. Just do these match. Okay, then they're together. Second, and this is the important part you're actually asking about. Nothing's left behind or made arbitrary. When a row goes into, say, the engineering bucket, it doesn't just bring its department value along and drop everything else. The entire row goes into that bucket fully intact. Every single column, every value, all still patched to do that row. So if a department salary, there we go. Okay, so if a department salary, bonus, name, everything sits together in that engineering bucket. So to directly answer what you've asked, you're not restricted to only seeing department values afterwards. Department is just the column you use to decide which bucket each row belongs in. Oh, I see. So GroupBy basically creates like a bucket, like Claude said. In that bucket, all the values representing my department get stored in. Okay, so basically, the GroupBy method, let's go with something like the group_by method, creates me a bucket and stores all the values, or stores all the items in stores all the item that are under my department's row column. Okay, then let's send it. Alright, got you. Is it Claude better than ChatGPT? Actually, yeah, if you're working with programming or coding, I'd say that Claude is like not 100 times better, but actually, you know what? Now, mind, Claude feels like it's like 100 times better than ChatGPT in my opinion when it comes to programming, because Claude is specifically meant for programming as opposed to Gemini and ChatGPT. They can still get their job done, but let's say Claude can take a lot of picture references too. But I'd say if you're working with programming related to Unreal Engine for the game development, Gemini would be much better if you're trying to be a, let's say, blueprint programmer, or you want to work with like blueprints, nodes and all that stuff. Gemini is better with visually helping you, while Claude is better with helping you find errors, catching bugs, teaching you concepts and all that stuff. ChatGPT is better for just like teaching in general, but it does sort of reach its chat limit unless you don't have the pro let's say the pro version, because if you send like about 3 images to ChatGPT, it does reach its chat limit. That's correct, and I want you to notice something. That answer you just gave, that's tight. That's exactly it. No fluff. Oh wow. No hedge link, straight to the mechanism. Let's be precise about the wording though, since precision is what separates. I get the vibe from I actually understand it. .group_by method creates a bucket per unit department value. And into each bucket, it puts the entire row for every record that matches that department, not just the department column itself. The whole row, salary and all, comes along for the ride. Salary and all. Wait. Creates a bucket per unit department value, and into each bucket, it puts the entire row. Okay, let me say, what is the difference between a row and a column. Okay, look, I know the difference between a row and a column, but maybe I don't. Let's see. In data structures, table like spreadsheets, a row and column are fundamental building blocks. Okay, which is a row and what is a column? Let me just go to images real quick. Oh, so rows is the horizontal and columns is the vertical. Got it. So creates into the each bucket puts an entire row for every record that matches that department. So the entire row. The department column itself, the row, salary. Oh, okay. Now, one more critical piece before we touch any code, and this is the part that actually makes .groupby useful instead of just organized but useless. Remember I told you .groupby method alone doesn't calculate anything? It makes the buckets and hands you back a GroupBy object. Buckets made nothing compute yet to actually get an answer out of those buckets, like what's the average salary per department. You chain something onto the end of .groupby. The most common one you'll use constantly is aggregation, short for aggregate. Okay, the aggregate method, not aggregation. Okay, .ag is what you attach right after GroupBy to say, now that you've made the bucket, here's the calculation I want you to run once separately on each bucket. So the full shape looks like group the rows into the bucket department, then tell it what math to do inside each bucket. I'm not giving you the exact syntax yet. I want to check something first. Have you ever used the word aggregate or .ag before in any context? Pandas, SQL, Excel, anywhere? I have used it in Pandas. However, it feels sort of vague because I am just learning these concepts to know that they exist. I will master them or get more practice with them later on in the roadmap. Okay, there we go. And guys, I'm getting so much better at touch typing. What the hell? Okay, that's a mature read and I want to acknowledge yada yada. But here's the thing, even with that mindset, I'm not going to let vague slide by unaddressed just because you flagged it. Honestly, vague is fixable in the next 5 minutes. Let's fix it. Then move on with actual footing instead of a shrug. You said you used .ag in pandas already, so you've seen the shape of it before. Even if the concept behind it stayed fuzzy, let's nail down the concept itself cleanly once. Right now, .ag runs a calculation like average. Oh, I see. Okay, I just needed a quick little refresher. I get it. Okay, because I remember using ag before. Okay, because you go with the .ag method and either the .sum method, either the .mean method, either the count min max method, and it's going to like calculate it for us. Separately on each bucket that .groupby already created, it doesn't run the calculation once on the whole data frame. It runs it once per bucket and gives you back one result per bucket. So if .group_by department made you an engineering bucket, a sales bucket, and a marketing bucket, .ag doesn't give you one overall average salary across everybody. It gives you 3 separate averages. One for engineering's row only, one for sales row only, one for marketing row only. Each bucket gets its own answer calculated independently from the others. That's the whole concept. .group_by sorts rows with buckets. .ag runs a calculation once per bucket and hands you back one row of results per bucket. In your own words, what does .aggregate do once GroupBy is already made? It runs a calculation. Okay, so it runs a calculation Okay, like average sum separate on each bucket. Separately on a specific bucket. Okay, there we go. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it at that. Just write SQL. Python is bad if you have any real data. It bottlenecks memory. That actually does make sense, but I'm just working with these because these are concepts in my roadmap. Next up, let's see, after this topic, which is polars, I will be moving on to another section in my phase 1 of my roadmap, which is databases, where I will be working with SQL, PostgreSQL, and all those things. Close, and I can tell you got the core of it. Read your own answer, runs back. Okay, specific bucket, singular one bucket, like you're picking out. Think back to what I said. Runs once on one bucket, you choose, or does it run once per bucket on every bucket? It runs once per bucket on every bucket. Okay, that's it. That's correct. And now what? 30 minutes on stream and we're gonna be working on our first question. What the hell? Before I show you any syntaxes, no. I feel like I understand it now. And that I spent 30 minutes on stream doing so. Therefore, can I get a question? Okay, and yeah, I won't fix my therefore this time. Typo, I wrote therefore Drem. Hold on, 30 minutes on a concept isn't wasted. Oh, did I say wasted? Did I specify wasted? Okay, doing so, okay. One more time, quick and simple. If you grouped employees.csv by department, then average the salary, how many rows would the final result have and what would each row represent? It would have 3 rows. Representing my salary. Here representing my rows in the file. Okay, and I'm gonna open my Visual Studio Code now. SQL is a programming language itself, not only for databases. PL/SQL, you can do most things you require. I see. Okay, so we got name, salary, and bonus. I don't really have a department. You're half right. Oh my gosh. Can I get the question already? How can I answer questions without ever working with the code and just by reading out explanation? It's like having all the theory in the world, then whatchamacallit, then the freaking experience. I hear the frustration. I want to be straight with you, okay, but instead of pushing forward, you just ask a real question, okay, yada yada. I gotta skim. I want to be done with this. Okay, I know the syntax here if you can answer only once you see GroupBy printed out and straight back at you. You have 3 departments: engineering, sales, marketing. You group by department, then average the salary in each group. How many separate average salary numbers do you end up with? I end up with engineering, sales, marketing. 3 different salary numbers. 1 for each bucket. Guys, this is one thing with Claude. Claude is so pesky. How many separate salaries do you end up with, and what does each number belong to? It belongs to engineering, sales, and marketing. That's it. Now bro, I swear to God, I've clocked. There we go. Finally, question 26. Question 26, GroupBy and aggregations file. So I'm going to create a Python file called question 26 underscore department underscore averages and create a function called department underscore salary underscore averages. Requirements. Load employees.csv into a data frame using the method you already know. Here's the thing, it says load, not make a lazy frame. So I'm not gonna use the scan underscore CSV. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the read underscore CSV. Requirement 2, group the data frame by the department column. Alright. Requirement 3, aggregate the grouped result by calculating the average of the salary column per group. Requirement 4, return the resulting data frame. Requirement 5, docstring, time complexity on its own line, blank line. Then a plain English explanation, naming the specific mechanism, which column is grouped, which column is average, no generic filter, no analogy, language. Alright. So first things first, we're gonna delete a bunch of Python files here because by God, there are so many files here that I did not really exist till now. I'm just gonna leave my employees.csv file out here. And then let's get Claude's instruction in the other window. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create a brand new Python's file called question 26. I will be using touch typing as well. Question 26 underscore department underscore averages dot tpy. Well done, bro. I'm a big fan. Yo, how you doing? He's Brony. Is our opponent's name? Appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go ahead and close that stuff. Exit this. And now, first things first, since I will be requiring a docstring, I'm gonna be going for a module level docstring. Therefore, we're gonna go ahead and add 3 triple quotes here and just leave that space untouched. I'm gonna add the docstring later on. And then we're gonna go ahead and let's say something like import polars, because I will be using polars as a universal conviction of, let's say, the prefix, because everyone, okay, that did not make any sense. Almost everyone imports polars as PL, so we're gonna go with that as well. Import polars as PL. It's more readable for other programmers. And then we're gonna go ahead and define a function. Love the consistency. Appreciate you, Hayes. That actually is a vote to me, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and define a function called department underscore salary underscore averages. Underscore averages, there we go. Which will not be requiring any parameters, but I will be adding a colon here. Next up, requirement 1. So I gotta load my employees.csv file into a data frame using the method you already know. So we're gonna go with df data frame, which is gonna be equal to, let's say, a read underscore CSV method. So I'm gonna go with pl dot read underscore CSV. Okay, which is going to be requiring my files' name or my CSV files' name. That in this case is going to be my employees, employees dot the CSV extension. Once we're done loading our file, we're going to go ahead and group the data frame by the department column. Okay, I don't fully have a department column, so let's add one. I'm going to go with department. And why am I not adding any space here, and why are there a bunch of commas? Because when working or when creating a CSV file, this is the only format that we can use. It's like a colon and then salary, another colon. Colon is basically like a space. It's important to add that stuff. Okay, so we're going to be having 3 departments. The first department is going to be a marketing department. marketing. The second department is going to be a engineering department. Whoops, no space. Engineering department. And lastly, the third department is going to be a sales department. Again, no space. And then we're going to hit Control S to save the code. SALES. And then we're gonna go to our question 26, this Python file again, and group by the departments section. In Python, this means sort every row into a bucket based on what value it has. The column per department, unique row follows the bucket. Okay, I don't think I gotta like store anything, do I? I may go with something like bucket. Because I'm not like familiar with the syntax here, because Claude didn't really say me the syntaxes. I'm trying to think what syntaxes could go here. So we're gonna go with something like the df our data frame dot sort. Nope. Sort every frame. So group underscore by. So we're gonna go with something like a GROUP. There we go. Group underscore by is this method. And yeah, I am still touch typing, so it becomes really tedious to write this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go with group underscore by, which is going to be requiring a department or a parameter of a row, which is going to be my department row. Is the spelling correct? There we go. DEPRTMENT. Once we're done with that, requirement 3, aggregate the group results by calculating the average of the salary column per group. Okay, here's the thing. I need to average the salary column per group. So how in the genuine world am I going to go with the department here without really adding my salary for my department? Wait, no. This is the department rows, so marketing does consist of a salary. Alice works in the marketing row. Oh, so that's how it works. Okay, so we're gonna go with something like dot ag, where I want to aggregate my salary. SALARY per group. So average, right? So average is the same as mean, so I'm gonna go with something like the dot mean method. Okay, this is how I did it in pandas. I don't really know if this is how we do it in polars as well, but the syntax are sort of the same. Return the resulting data frame. Return the resulting data frame. Which is basically my bucket, right? You know what? Bucket sounds kind of weird. I'm gonna go with result. And then I'm gonna copy the result, RESULT, and we're gonna go ahead and return our result. Okay, then let's just go in a new line. I'm gonna go ahead and invoke my function. Nope, I'm gonna print my invoked function. Okay, there we go. And then we're just gonna go ahead and hit Control S to save the code. Before I really go over anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and add a time complexity out here. Which in this case, my time complexity is gonna be ON. The reason it's ON is because we don't really have a nested loop here. I just iterate once, or not really iterate. I go over my departments column one time. This program goes over a CSV file and let's say uses the group underscore by method to create SPECIFIC to create a specific bucket and later that consists of the columns. That's row that consists of all the columns under that group. Consists of... Wait, actually that's a row and that's Those are columns, those are rows. The columns. Nope. And later, and then uses the dot ag method to get the mean of the salaries and returns result. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code now. If I were to go ahead and not run the program, because Python's default encoder, which is CP1252, cannot really encode polar, so we need to manually change our environment or encoder to UTF-8 to be able to really run our program here. To do that, I'm gonna hit Control plus tilde or backslash to get my terminal out here, and then we're gonna go ahead and let's say firstly change my file path to where my file really exists, which in this case it's gonna go ahead and be polars. Let me show you guys what I mean. Okay, because basically where my question 26 is, it's inside of my polars is a folder that I created custom out here. And then now let's go ahead and change our environment. So I'm gonna go with the $sign and then type something like env. I'm gonna go with something like Python PythonIO encoding. That is gonna go ahead and be equal to UTF-8. There we go. Once we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and manually run my program. So I'm gonna go with something like run the certain Python file, and then I'm gonna give my file name, which is gonna be question 26 underscore department underscore averages .py. And now we pray. Perfect. So what output do we get versus what output did we expect to get? I get a null here and I get a null here. I was expecting to get my average. I did not really get my average. So you do the average for each department record. So O and multiply the number of departments. I think, yeah, okay, I'm not that good with big O notations, but I'm gonna actually send this to Claude real quick. Let me say output. Nope, we're gonna have more this thing. Let me just send it. I need to work more on big O notations, to be honest. Good, you showed me before running it. Oh, no violation this time. Let's actually look at this before you touch the terminal at all. There's a real bug in your ag line, and I want you to find it by rereading it literally, not by what you meant to do. Your line, result equals to df, group by department dot aggregate salary mean. Walk through this piece by piece, left to right exactly as Python reads it. Wait, Python reads it left to right. df.group underscore by department makes the buckets find so far. Dot aggregate salary, this runs immediately after group underscore by chain directly onto it. Dot mean, this runs after dot aggregate salary has already finished and returned something. Makes a bucket. Here's the question, what do you think dot aggregate salary, just that piece on its own, before mean even runs, actually receives and does with it. You learned that aggregate runs the calculation per bucket. What calculation did you tell it to run in that first chain? Look specifically at what's inside the parentheses dot aggregate and salary. Wait, hold on. If I were to go all the way up here, I'm pretty sure I got it. I did not get a single reference. Okay, well, that's not good. Guess we're gonna have to think this through. Look specifically at what's inside the parentheses of aggregate. Is salary a calculation? It is not a calculation. Wait, is mean a method or a function? I think it's a function with no instructions attached to it. Read that specific piece back to me. What is aggregate salary actually asking pollers to do? Oh, I see. One question. Is mean a function or a method? Good catch on spawning the gap and good question asking. Yada yada mean is a method. Alright. Here's how you tell the difference. I know the difference. How do you tell that a function stands on its own? Okay, I know that stuff. Okay, mean is always called with a dot notation. But here's the actual problem in your code. It's not really about the function versus method, it's about where mean is being called from. Right now, mean is changed onto whatever aggregate salary produced, not changed onto the raw salary column reference. Okay, so no pl.column, no expression at all. What calculation are you saying? There we go. Let's hit Control S to save the code, and then I'm just gonna copy this thing to save time. Then let's paste it. Okay, so we still get null because even though I did save the code, so we go with aggregate and maybe the mean is up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that stuff, and then we're gonna go ahead and paste it here, hit Control S to save the code, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy that again, paste it here, hit enter. There we go. Now we get our averages. Is that my average? Average of 200,000. Average of... Wait, that is sales. Okay, that doesn't really look like averages, to be honest. But let's go with Control C, copy that, grep cloud here. Okay, the pl.column, that was my bad. Not to add it. There it is. That's the fix, and I want you to notice why it works. Not just that it does pl.column salary.mean, that's an actual expression. Same concept you logged down in topic 4. Pl.column salary alone is just a reference to the column. No calculation attached here. Chaining.mean onto it builds a complete instruction. Take this column and specifically calculate its average. That's what .ag needs, not a bare string with no instructions, but a real expression telling it exactly what math to run. Compare that to what you had before, salary on its own, yada yada. Good self-correction, you didn't need me to hand you the syntax, you connected it back to expression yourself, yada yada. One more thing before you run this, your docstring still says uses the aggregation method to get the mean of salaries. That's accurate now, but it's worth being precise about the mechanism. Per bucket not just gets the mean, small thing, flagging it. Your call whether tighten it before or after running. Terminal check before you type anything. PowerShell, show me the exact command you're gonna run. Whoops. We just pasted. There we go. Good, that's the terminal follow command and no elation. Oh god, answer and run and paste the output. Okay, I'm gonna paste the output here real quick. No one needs to know. Claude doesn't need to know that I already ran this code like twice. Okay, how many rows do you expect in the printed output? 3. And what? 2 columns. Rows? Columns. Do you expect to see? How many rows do you expect? So rows is that. So I need 1 row. And what are the 2 columns you expect? Wait, before I run, right? So if I were to think it carefully, I need my row. So I need a salary row to be printed. And I'll need a name row. So rows. It would print me Let me think. I don't want to see the answer first. How many rows versus how many columns? I didn't notice this before. I'm trying to get the average for my department, right? I've got 3 departments, so those are the columns. I'll need 3 columns and 2 rows. Name. Okay, so 3 columns. 3 columns and 2 rows. Let's go with Shift Enter and paste it. Okay, one is the average. Wait, one is the department and the salary. Okay, why did I get department and salary? Wait, oh, my bad. I specified department and salary here. I went with group by department and salary. These are my freaking 2 rows, and these are the columns representing them rows. These are my departments, those are my salaries, but I don't really get my averages. I need to find a way to get my average. Huh. Stop it right there. You ran the command and pasted it in the output in one message before I even confirmed the prediction or gave you the go ahead. Let's be exact about what happened because I want to see yourself. I answered the first, run it and paste in the output. Okay, this is the same shape as what happened back in question 22 and 25. Code or commands appearing. Restate the terminal rule back to me. Oh my gosh. I show you. I ask you before running a terminal command and show you what command I run before I run it. Whoops, I didn't want to keep it in caps. That's the first time and he got it, but he said both parts back to me. Messages go, okay. Here's a hint. Jogging the rule isn't only about terminal command. There is a second separate thing. It also has to be shown to me before it runs. Didn't I say that? Think back question 25. You got walked through this. What else besides command gets shown to me for anything runs? I ask you before running the program, right? Guys, why is Claude why is Claude being so pesky about this part? Part 1, the code itself, the actual Python code in this case, gets shown to me in chat and I confirm it looks right. The terminal command type, okay. Okay, this is the 5th time, this exact pattern. I said it the last time going forward, so just be blunt with specifically. Okay, wait, let me say, I think I get it, ... I did that to save time. Okay, and that we are spending a lot more time discussing about a topic that is not related to the stream, so I will be careful from the next time and ask/show you before running. There we go. Okay, because I want to be done quick. It's like 53 minutes. I appreciate the honesty. I did it to save time is the real reason. Here's the thing though, it isn't the same thing. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Now back to what actually matters, because something's sitting there in that output you pasted what I want you to look again before we move on. Marketing's average salary is 200,000, dramatically higher than engineering, which is 59,000, and sales is 601,000. Before you just accept that number as correct, does it look like a believable average salary? It does not look like an average. That is something that I was thinking as well, to be honest. Good instinct. Okay, number that's 3 times everything around it shows always the stuff. Okay, you paused and accepted it, but here's the key question, and I want you to actually investigate before guessing. Is this a bug in your code, or is this just what's actually in the data? Those two are completely different problems with two completely different fixes. If marketing genuinely only has one employee in the file and that person happens to make 200,000, then mean of a single value, the code would be working correctly and the problem is just a small skewed data. But if marketing has several employees and the average is still landing at 200,000, something in your group, I just have one employee in my there we go. Okay, that answers and it confirms the code is actually correct. This is actually good. Okay, understood. So go look closely. Okay, docstring is solid. A quick gut check before moving. Same assessment question I asked you at the end of every topic because you read on this. Okay, do you feel like you've got the mechanism of group by and aggregation down? I think that I actually did understand it, since I have worked with it on pandas as well. Therefore, I feel like I am ready for the next topic. Okay, which is going to be SQL, and that leaves me with 10 days. You hear me? Britius, what does Britius mean? Okay, that tracks. You flagged it yourself. One topic left in polars, reading and writing files. Same rules applied. I have not. Yeah, I can guess what Claude is going to say me and then reply accordingly. It's just asking me if I have ever worked with wait, I did work with write underscore CSV and read underscore CSV. The hell? Good, straight, honest answer, but there's no harm in saying I didn't really work with it. That's the pattern I want to keep seeing. Zero prior exposure to the polar version, specifically confirmed, full from zero teaching, same as every topic before this. Let's build it one piece at a time. You already know this. You already know the shape from pandas, so I'll use that as a bridge, but the actual syntax is different, so don't let familiarity Guys, my tongue is rolling way too much. With the hell? Familiarity make you skim. pl.read underscore CSV file name.csv reads a CSV file off disk and loads it into a real polars data frame. Actual data in memory, ready to work with immediately. This is different from pl.scan underscore CSV, which you already learned in lazy evaluation. Remember, scan underscore CSV doesn't load anything yet, it just builds a plan. Yeah, it makes a to-do list and like strategizes as to what would be the most effective way to display something in the console once you call the .collect method. Read underscore CSV is the eager version. We got a lazy data and a eager data. Eager data displays stuff in the console as soon as we add a print statement to it, and that we don't need to explicitly call a separate method like collect to really tell it that now it's time to go ahead and display them datas. Okay, is eager version. It goes and gets the real data right now. No lazy frame, no .collect needed afterwards. That's the read side. The right side is the mirror image. df.write underscore CSV, we write a CSV file, takes a data frame you already have in memory and saves it out to a CSV file on disk, the reverse direction, memory to disk instead of disk to memory. That's it. Two methods, opposite directions, nothing else in this new message. In your own words, what's the difference between what read underscore CSV does and pl.scan underscore CSV does? pl.read underscore CSV method creates a lazy frame, while pl.scan Right. Uh, uh, uh. This is scan. pl.scan underscore CSV creates a lazy frame while pl.scan read underscore CSV reads a CSV file and stores the contents of it in a data frame. Okay, and then let's send it. That's right, and it's precise. You're distinguishing the two correctly instead of just saying one reads and one also reads. Scan underscore CSV builds a plan, a lazy frame, nothing executed. Read underscore CSV goes and gets the actual data immediately. No plan, no dot collect needed. Good. One more precise question, then we write. Question the right side, since I haven't checked your understanding on that half. In your own words, what does df.write underscore CSV file do, and which directory is it moving data in compared to read underscore CSV? So let me say read underscore CSV method stores the data from a CSV file to a data frame, which is inside a Python file that we executed or wrote the read command on, while the write underscore CSV file creates a CSV file which is located in the same folder as the Python file, but not inside the Python file. Okay, and then let's send it. I think we're gonna be done with polars this time. You've got the direction right, and honestly, there's something solid buried in there. You're talking about where the data physically lives, which is the right instinct, but there is a distinction getting blurred, and I want to pull it apart cleanly because it matters later. Let's separate two different things you're mixing together. Where a data frame exists versus where a Python file is lived. A data frame does live inside a Python file the way you wrote it. It lives in your computer's memory, RAM, while your Python script is running, created the moment pl.read underscore CSV executes and gone. The instant the program finishes, the pythons.py file itself is just instructions saved on disk that tells Python what to do when it runs. The data frame isn't stored inside that file at all. It only executes temporarily in memory during execution. So here's the cleaner way to say both halves. pl.read underscore CSV file name.csv takes data sitting on disk in a CSV file and loads it into memory as a real data frame. So your running program can use it. df.write underscore CSV file name.csv takes a data frame that currently exists in memory and saves it out to disk as an actual CSV file. Oh, disk, memory for read, memory, disk for write. Oh, okay, try again one more time. Cleanly, which direction does read underscore CSV data move and which direction does write underscore CSV move? Okay, so the read underscore CSV file stores the data in memory, specifically RAM. and executes when the program executes when the program runs and gets deleted when the program is done running, while the read underscore CSV file, let's say, creates a file. I'm gonna wait for caps lock to work out all day. Creates a file on the disk as opposed to the memory, which means once the program runs, the file gets created, and after the program is done running, the file stays on the disk as opposed to being deleted. Oh god, and then let's send it. Okay, you've actually got a mechanism both right. Memory have, read your own sentence while read underscore CSV. You're describing the right behavior, creating a file on disk, persisting after the program ends. You labeled it read underscore CSV. That's the same method twice. Which method name should be sitting in the second half of your sentence? Oh, right underscore CSV. My bad. My muscle memory took over. Hey Viv, you and me used to play Blockman Go a lot. Vivek Gamer game. Oh, that used to be a Blockman Go name. You and me were best friends. We played Bed Wars a lot, and remember the time we piston duped. Oh, actually, I may remember it. What was your Blockman Go username? Because my memory is kind of horrible, but I do remember. I used to play it a lot. These days I stopped playing it because they stopped adding content and all that stuff to it. It feels more like a static game now. Okay, concept fully taught. Both directions confirmed in your own words. Time for code. Question 27. Reading and writing files. So we gotta create a Python file called question27 underscore read underscore and underscore write.py function. Read, filter, and save. Requirement. So I gotta load employees.csv file into a data frame using pl.read underscore csv. It was imatredbg. Actually, I may remember that name, but my memory's kind of bad, guys. That's it. Oh no, what's up? Almus, is that how you pronounce your name? Almus Diego? Okay, so I gotta load employees.csv file into a data frame using pl.read underscore csv. Okay, requirement 2. Filter the data frame down to only rows where salary is greater than 60,000. Okay. Requirement 3. Save the filter result to a new file called hi underscore earners.csv file using write underscore csv method. And lastly, return the filter data frame. Okay, and then we gotta add a docstring. Okay, here's a gift. Yo, hiding Daniel, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create a new file. So I'm gonna go with something like question 27. Let's go with something like question 27 underscore read and write. Read and write. There we go. Yo, I appreciate you. I'm Edward BG. Actually means the world to me. Let's go. This is actually the first time that I've gotten a sticker. Huh. Send flow state for 200 joules. Yeah, appreciate you. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. And we got a poop sticker. Okay, guys, that's actually insane. Send happy poop for 10 joules. Yeah, appreciate you, SS. Okay, and guys, this is the first time that I have been got, let's say, stickers. I usually never get them. I don't even really know what they really do. Okay, let's go up here. Gonna just go there and... Oh wow, okay guys, I appreciate the stickers. They actually do look kind of cool, to be honest. Okay, let's see. I forgot to add... Do you still got your Blockman Go account? Actually, I still do have it. Whatchamacallit, I do play it once in a while, but I don't really got as much time these days, cause, whatchamacallit, I am kind of busy with my college stuff as well, while really working on my streaming content too. I need to start uploading some more videos. Okay, that's it. Let me get Claude's instructions in this other window real quick. There we go. Okay, so apparently since I'm gonna be using, let's say, a module level docstring, I'm gonna be adding triple quotes here. And then we're gonna go ahead and let's say import polars as PL. I'm gonna go with something like import polars as PL, which is a universal convention for how people really import polars. And then we're gonna go ahead and let's say define a function. Can you add my account? Here's the ID. Actually, I'm gonna add it as soon as I'm done with the with the stream here. And you could also join my Discord server and go to the gaming chat and just send me the ID in case I can't really see the chat replay, or in case I did forget, because I will be streaming for a little longer today. Okay, and you can get access to my Discord server by tapping !Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. Actually, let me do it. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and define a method called read underscore filter underscore and underscore save. There we go. Okay, and I think that I do have you added, but I guess I'll fact check that. There we go. Okay, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go here and we're gonna go ahead and load our employees.csv file into a data frame using pl.read underscore csv. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a dfsys variable that is going to be equal to, let's say something like employees. There we go, dot read. Okay, actually not employees. I'll go with something like pl.read underscore csv method. Okay, which is going to be requiring, let's say, a parameter of my file. So I'm gonna go with something like my employees .dcsv file. Okay, perfect. We aren't added. I lost my old account. All I got in my new is VIP 8. Guys, VIP 8 actually kind of cool. Okay, because I am still at VIP 0, to be honest. I mean, it's not like I really play that as much. I remember your paper throwing ninja star tutorials. That was like 5 years ago, actually. Okay, if you've been here for that long, you're like an OG, I think. Okay, let's see. So load employees.csv into a data frame. Alright, once I'm done with that, filter the data frame down to only rows where salary is greater than 60,000. Okay, what was the filter method? I sort of forgot. In Python, this means use the filtering method you already learned in topic 2. Okay, I'm pretty sure I gotta use the column method. Or the select, there we go, the select method to filter. Build a condition on the salary column. Okay. And keep only rows that satisfy it, leaving the original data frame untouched. To do that, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say filter the data frame down to only rows where salary is greater than 60,000. Save the filtered result to a new file. Okay, we're gonna create a result variable that is gonna be equal to. I would always beg you to put your lava sword skin in a chest so I can use it. Oh, okay, you know what? I think my memory is starting to get back. Okay, let's see. So filter... Okay, so filter the data frame down to only rows where salary is greater than 60,000. I'm gonna go with something like my data frame dot the select method, where I wanna go ahead and let's say select. I want to go ahead and select my salary, okay, and only the salaries which are greater than 60,000. Wait, I think I can actually filter it. Do I have a filter? There we go. Okay, I just needed a quick little refresher. I knew it, I had to go with df.filter. Okay, so let's go back up here. So instead of select, we're gonna go with filter. filter. I want to filter a specific thing, which is going to be my pl.column. This is me making an equation up here where I want to filter, let's say, my employees this column. Okay, which are greater than 60,000. Let's go with something like greater than 60,000. There we go. Okay, and then we're just gonna go ahead and I guess print that stuff. Save the filtered result into a new file called High Earners. Okay, I'll accept your friend request tonight. In about 7 hours, then we can maybe play. I have an exam tomorrow, so maybe we could play like tomorrow or something, or maybe sometime on stream. Okay, I'm in one of your videos. I'm gonna go find it, bring it back. Alright, I'll catch you later. Okay, let's see. Let me go all the way up here. And now we're gonna go ahead and let's say save our filtered result to a new file called high_earners. Okay, if I understood this correctly, I'm gonna go with something like pl.write_file. Here's the thing with write_file. Do I need, let's say, 1 parameter or 2 parameters? Called high_earners.csv. You know what? Let's try it. What's the worst that happens? I mess up. Let's go with high_earners.csv. Okay, perfect. Okay, and now here's the thing with the syntax. This means take the filter data frame that currently exists only in memory and preset it to the disk to an actual file. So it's... Should I go with results.write_csv? Return the filter data frame. What are the syntaxes to write_csv? Hold on. Save the filtered result to a new file. Okay. Using write_csv, so I gotta save the filter. I write a CSV file called high_earners.csv, but I want to save the results. So instead of pl, should I go with result.write_csv? I think that's it, because this is still a data frame technically. Okay, and then return the filter data frame. Return the filtered data frame. Filter data frame, which is that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and return results. No one said me to return the CSV file, requirements add a docstring. Now, before I really add the docstring, I'm gonna go to a new line, and then we're gonna go ahead and print our file here, our function here while invoking it. I'm gonna hit Control S to save the code. Now, no one needs to tell Claude. I'm gonna sort of run the code here real quick. I'm gonna change my directory to polars, and then I'm gonna change my environment. Okay, to let's say something like Python IO. There we go, Python IO encoding equals to, I'm gonna go with something like UTF-8. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and manually run our file. So I'm gonna go with something like py question 27 underscore read underscore and underscore write read and write.py. There we go, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit Control S to save the code, and I run into an error. No such file. Okay, so question 27 underscore read and WROTE. Okay, we had a typo. This is exactly the mistake that I did last stream, and I spent a whole freaking hour debugging. Okay, now we run into actual errors, so it says line 33 module. Okay, I'm gonna sort of clear this out for the time being. Go with Control-A, Control-C, grep cluttered here. Guys, we're losing another good engineer to AI. What you guys mean losing good engineer to AI? Okay, let's paste it here and say something like, I feel like I messed the syntax up. Let's see. Okay, good instinct, flag it yourself. I even said it. Before I even said anything, let's find exactly where, since you already Since something's off, look at this line specifically. Result equals to df.filter, pl.column greater than 60. Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't find it, but do you still got a lot of gold bars? I really need some. I need to check. I'm gonna probably check after the stream, or that if I really have some time. I may have a couple of them. I could like give it to you actually. Okay, what column are you actually trying to filter on here? The one holding salary numbers. Now look at what string you actually typed inside. pl.column is employees, the name of a column that exists in employees.csv or is something else entirely. Think about it this way. Employees sound like it's describing the whole file, like the file about employees, not a specific column. What column are you trying to filter here? I'm trying to filter my... No way, you're joking. You're joking. How come? Guys, is this me just getting distracted? I'm trying to filter my salary. I wasn't trying to filter my employee. I saw the dupe video. You have a few chests of them. I actually used to give away a lot, so like I probably gave away most of them. I really need to see, because back in the days when I used to like play Blockman Go or like Skyblocks, I could never really keep a lot of items with me. I used to just all give it all away. Okay, let's go with change directory. I'm gonna go with something like polars. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna go with something like dollar environment. I'm gonna go with dollar... Whoops. I'm gonna just clean this stuff real quick. CD polars. And then we're gonna go with dollar environment, which is gonna be, let's say, something like Python IO encoding. That is going to be equal to, let's say, UTF, lowercase UTF. Oh, I made a small mistake. Whoops. Python IO encoding. Which is going to be equal to, let's say... Oh god, guys, I hate my screenshot shortcut. It's so annoying. Let's go with UTF-8. There we go, and then we're gonna go with something like py and manually run my Python file. Okay, I need to manually run it. I'm gonna go with question 27 underscore read underscore and underscore vote, not write. I made a typo up there. .py. There we go, perfect. Can you repeat what you said from my other comment? I didn't really hear it. I was like, back in the days when I really used to duplicate, let's say, items and all that, I used to never like keep them with me. I used to just give it all away, because for some reason I did not really like to keep so much stuff with me. I was like, just take it all. Okay, that's it. Alice 200,000, bonus 1,000, marketing. These are the people with sales greater than $60,000. Okay, and the topic really was not that hard enough. I just had a typo. Nope, before I really send it to Claude, I'm gonna go up here and say something like time complexity. Okay, so my time complexity here is gonna be, let's say, something like ON. There we go, and then let's say something like this program. Whoops. Hold on, guys. This program of filters a CSV file. And did I create a new CSV file called hire underscore earners? I did create a CSV file with hire earners. Filters a CSV file. Okay, and only displays employees who earn more than $60,000 a year. Okay, and creates a new CSV file to store those values in. Okay, why you got school? It's summer break. Actually, I do take, let's say, courses in summer as well, because I do want to get my bachelor's soon, and then I can finally full-time stream. Lol, alrighty, what times are you usually live? It really depends based on my college time as well. It's the weekends, but I mostly stream at, let's say, this exact same time, just an hour before this. I need to see it in CST, let's see. What is 2 p.m. in CST? Time question mark. Okay, so 3 p.m. EST and 6 p.m. UTC. Okay, so Central Standard Time I stream at, let's say, 3 p.m. Okay, but it really depends. Sometimes when I'm free, I stream a bit sooner. While I'm late, I'm gonna stream later on as well. And sometimes my stream goes on for really long. Okay, let's go with Control C, get a rep plot up here real quick, and then let's go ahead and paste it and say something like done. And guys, I feel like I've finally done it. We're done with our polars section. It feels so nice to talk to my old friend, man. I always check your channel, lol. Been a few years. Actually, it has. Okay, I just need to jog my memory up. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my roadmap as well, to be honest. There we go. Okay, so if I'm done with my polars today, I'm gonna start with databases next stream, which is gonna be SQL with PostgreSQL, joining indexes, transactions, and then NoSQL basics with Mongo database, and then ORMs. Once I'm done with all this stuff, we're gonna build our first project, our first ever mini project in the series, which is gonna be an automated web scraper that runs daily, and then machine learning. Kind of exciting. What are you making? Actually, I am currently under a series called AI Engineering for 365 Days, where my goal by the end of this series will be to make an agentic AI, hopefully by using LLMs to get the job done and not really building a whole or training a whole model on my own, because I later on realized in the series that that's what machine learning engineers really do. That said, I do have, let's say, a comprehensive roadmap which has every single concept in it or all the prerequisites in it that I will be requiring in order to build that AI. For the time being, I am almost done with phase 1 and ready to move on to phase 2. And in case you guys don't really know what a agentic AI is, it's basically AIs like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and all those chatbots. That's it, good. The column name is fixed. PL.column salary instead of employees. Do you expect higher earners to contain all the original rows from your CSV or only some of them? I expect it to consist of all the rows only for employees who earn more than, let's say, 60,000 a year. Okay, let's see. Okay, good, that's correct prediction, and it's precisely worded to not all rows. Now terminal command, show me the exact command. Alright. No one's got to tell Claude that I sort of ran the code, but what I just answered the question was because I understood that part. Hold on, before you type that into PowerShell, look at the file name versus the file name you actually saved. I did have a typo in my file name, so instead of write, I wrote. There we go. Sorry, I gotta go. Take care, man. Talk later. Honestly, appreciate you joining the stream, says I'll catch you next stream. Okay, good catch and good to confirm which one's actually wrong before typing. Okay, give me the corrected command. The one that actually matches the real save file name. You type the exact, because that is the command. That literally is the command. Oh god. Let me copy that and then paste it here. That was the actual command. Like here. Watch Claude be real pesky for this too. Stop, two things happen here. I want to address both directly. I knew it. First, the terminal rule violation. You ran the command and passed the full output in the same message without me ever confirming. Go ahead and type it. I asked you to check the actual file name first and tell me what it says. You didn't answer that, okay. I'm not letting this pass with a quick verbal note. Restate the two parts back to me. Oh my gosh. I ask you if I can run the code. And if you say I can, I show you the terminal command that I will be running. Instead, I show the Python file to you, and only when you say me to run the code, I run it. Guys, this is so annoying. Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't join. You were on my recommended, which made us friends again. Lullaby. Oh, actually, that sounds kind of cool. Kitchen next streamer says, "Hey bro, always informative and interesting. Stop by on your streams." That actually sounds really cool. I appreciate you joining the stream, Mosik. Okay, so you're typing fast and it's coming out Grabble, that's fine. Touch typing, I know the drill, I'm not going to nitpick the letters, but the actual content of which you said is muddled too, and I need the real thing stated clearly, not a rushed approximation. Let's slow all the way down. Here's the rule one more time. Part 1, code gets shown to me in the chat, I look at it. Part 2, the exact terminal command gets shown to me in the chat separately, I look at it. And only then, after both have actually been shown and there's been a real gap where I could see response, you type the command into PowerShell and run it. That's it. What are the two separate things I need to be shown in order? Fine. The code needs to be shown to you first, and the exact terminal command, and then I need to show you the exact terminal command as well. Guys, is Claude like a real teacher? What the hell? That's it, clean correct. Now the honest part. Okay, was it the following confusion skip stuff once you answer? Okay, wait, what? I want the real reason, not the polished one. Now, the honest part I asked for, and don't just say what sounds good. Was it the file confusion that made you skip the pause and just run it, or was it something rushing frustration? No. I ran it because I thought that I am pretty confident with running the command since I have ran it about 50 times using the topics that we worked with in general so far, so I feel confident with these commands. Again, it won't really destroy my PC. Did anyone told you have same voice as Papa Okus? Huh, I haven't really heard of him. Is he like another content creator or something? I actually believe it's the real person, not an excuse, just the truth. 50 reps in PY is genuinely muscle memory for you now, but the confidence exactly a trap. The rule doesn't get blah blah blah. Now back to your actual output, because you still haven't answered the real question there. Only 2 rows show up above 60,000. You already know from question 26 that marketing has exactly 1 person. Alice 200,000 and sales has people averaging around 601,000. But what about engineering? Back in question 26, engineering's average salary came out to be 59,000, an average calculated across rows. However many engineers employees actually exist, does an average of 59,000 automatically mean every single engineering employee is below 60,000, or could an average be pulled down by some employees while others in the same department are actually above the threshold, meaning someone from engineering might be missing from this filter? Okay, basically my employees don't really got much employees to it, so this one is good. This is my employees.csv file. Okay, by the way, I'm new here. Can I know what are you doing? Actually, I am currently under a series called AI Engineering for 365 days, where my goal by the end of this series will be to make an agentic AI. hopefully I'll be using LLMs to get the job done. That said, before I really work on building the agentic AI, I have a roadmap that consists of all the prerequisites that I will be needing in order to, let's say, make that whatchamacallit, in order to be able to make the agentic AI. Therefore, I have like 8 phases in my roadmap. I'm currently almost done with my phase 1. I got one more concept on it, which I will be working on next stream. And then I'm going to move on to my mini project 1, where I'm going to be building a web scraper that is going to be fully automated and all that stuff. And then we're going to move on to phase 2, which is math and machine learning and all that basic stuff. That said, if you guys do want access to my roadmap that I am currently using for this series, you guys can get access to it through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing !Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, you guys can either join my, let's say, not join, you guys can either go to my coding helps us chat, Python chat, or general chat, mention my name there, @VivUniverse, asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap after the stream though. That said, now look at that. Against your output, your file has only 3 employees, so the thing looks suspicious. Only 2 rows, is worth naming. Code is correct, docstring is correct, prediction was accurate. Question 27 is complete. Before we go any further, same question. I think that I understand this topic, to be honest, and that we can move on to the next topic, which I will be working on next stream on databases. You're right, buddy. Best of luck. Yeah, appreciate you, Sahil. Okay, good. I'm not second guessing that stuff. Yada yada. Before, I need a notes transfer prompt next stream. Okay, wait. Can I get a MD file that consists of everything in the data wrangling? This category? Or maybe separate .md files, like one for polars, one for pandas, etc. Wait, how many topics were there in the data wranglings this category? Let me check real quick. There we go. Okay, so under the data wrangling, I'm gonna kind of truncate that and then exit my file explorer. We just had polars and pandas, you kidding me? Alright. One for polars, one for panda. Okay, I guess that's pretty much it for the stream in that case. And again, if you guys do want the .md file, I will be uploading everything to my GitHub. But if you guys do wanna, let's say, how do you want the data wrangling node structure? Separate files, pandas plus md, one combined, separate files plus a short. Nah, separate files. Yeah, I will be uploading it to my GitHub, all my Python files about polars, pandas, and my MD files. But if you guys do want it personally as well, I can DM it to you guys if you guys join my Discord server and ask it from me there. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. While Claude is really generating the MD file, which it will hopefully take longer, I'm gonna move on to my main camera. Alrighty guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. And is it just me, or did my brightness sort of decrease? Or nah, I think I said it. Do you guys like this brightness and contrast, or do you guys want it to be even brighter like that? I think brighter looks bad. Darker looks much better, to be honest. I'm just gonna hit cancel. There we go. Okay, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with notifications turned on, and if you guys do enjoy my content /video /live stream, make sure to share my channel, because like helps my algorithm sharing, makes you smile, and subscribing at your on top. That's it today. I was done with polars and data wrangling in general. Next stream I will be starting. Claude is done. Wasn't this kind of small, to be honest? Alright. Okay, let me go to my main camera. I'm gonna just work on that later. W stream, let's go. See ya. I'll catch you next stream, style. That said, I will eventually start multi-streaming again if I did find a way to encode my stream once and upload it, let's say simultaneously, or stream it simultaneously across several platforms. The reason I stopped doing that was because when I multi-stream, it eats up a lot of bitrate, which ends up resulting in all my streams across all the several platforms as quality decrease. So if I do find a way that I can simultaneously stream while using only one video encoding, I will turn multi-streaming on platforms such as Twitch, Kick, YouTube, even TikTok and Instagram. TikTok and Instagram specifically if I did meet the followers requirements. So if you guys really enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, the link is going to be in the bio, and you guys can get access to any of my socials in general by typing exclamation and the socials' name on chat, all lowercase, no space. If the social does exist, a link is gonna pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. If the social does not exist, a link will not pop up. That said, I did create 2 brand new channels, one called Viv Arcade and the other called Viv Works Out, where Viv Arcade is specifically meant for my gaming content and Viv Works Out is specifically meant for my workout content. So if you guys do enjoy either one of those genres / categories and you guys do want to check those out, you guys can get access to both my channels through my homepage in my this channel. If you guys scroll all the way down, you guys will see a featured channels section where I will be featuring, or where I did feature both my other channels there. So if you guys want to check those channels out, make sure to check those channels out and follow me there as well. That said, if you guys do want to follow me in my current AI engineering for 365 days series, and want the roadmap that I am currently using for this, you guys can join my Discord server. Either go to the coding helps us chat, Python chat, or general chat. Mention my name there at VivUniverse asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap after this stream though, which is almost over. The link of my Discord server will be in the description, it will be in the bio, or you guys can type exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space to get access to the link. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, I'll catch you guys next live stream or video. Peace. And tomorrow I may have a gaming stream on, let's say, Wuthering Waves. I do want to have a Valorant as well, so I may have like a mixed hybrid stream. Really depends. Let's end the stream real quick.